Yeah, don't bring it up. This is Winging It, the somewhat whimsical, certainly worrying, decidedly wonky, seldom weighty, endlessly well-intentioned, and wildly witty show about music, where one knows what's coming and the other doesn't. Now this bizarre but amazing show, if I do say so myself, happens in between both proper to ensure you can spend anywhere from 15 to 180 minutes with us every week. So that's what we say when we open the show, and then we get down to business. And the business is what this week? Well, I don't believe any of you know out there, unless you're psychic, which I would like you to send us something and we'll have you on the show. And David, did you become psychic?
Never. No.
All right, excellent. So then we can just go on to getting about the
I don't know what's
business.
going on in my own mind, much less anyone else's. You know?
Fair enough. And hopefully if you're psychic, you at least know what the fuck's going on in your own mind, right? So the topic this time, I think this is one you're going to enjoy, but I do challenge you and everybody out there to start thinking of your own. It's going to be tough because this is all new to you, but hopefully they'll come to you. So get your little pad of paper ready to write down some thoughts, because this time we're talking about some of the best opening lines of songs.
An excellent topic. We're both lyricists here. I'm the lyrical Da Vinci, as you know, and
I'm
self-proclaimed, you know. And, a strong opening line. It's a fabulous subject we could go on for hours about, but I promise we won't.
Yeah, so this time, the interesting thing is, way, way, way back in both history, we did something like this based on magazines. Now, this time, I was scrolling through the old Facebook, and it came up as a question, and I could not believe the one-liners I saw there, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a good one. It's been years since we did this topic, and this is different because it's not a magazine or a webzine. This is actually people responding to what are the best one-liners. So this is the public. So I thought it was interesting, and we'll see if any of yours are on this list. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe some surprises here. But I'm going to get started. So all aboard.
Is that a line? Would that be? But Ozzy Osbourne, Crazy Train, indeed. People consider that a memorable opening line.
I guess. Well, I mean, it is delivered in a weird way, a way that only the most annoying person in the world can, which is Ozzy. He delivered that, and then it starts really strong. It's a decent song if he weren't on it.
That does define the song, the way it starts and everything. Whenever anybody does a cover, even on rustic instruments or anything like that, some jug band will be doing a cover of it. Whoever does it, they always do the all aboard and the laugh. You know?
Well, it's the opening line. So maybe instead of it being the line, maybe it's more about the delivery. But that was one that came up repeatedly. So I only brought up ones that came up over and over and over again.
It's a good lead off. So what? It is a line, even if it's two words.
Yeah, it is.
But.
And then I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. So that song was over and over and over again, which is an amazing, because just think of the visual it gives you.
Yeah.
It's just, so I do think that's an amazing opening line. Is it the most quintessential? Probably not. But it is memorable. The good old Temptations.
It paints a good image with its words, and that's always important.
Absolutely. It kind of sets you up. And it's such a sweet song.
It is.
So, any coming to mind for you? Any that you're like, hey, this is the best opening line? One is an honorable mention I'm going to throw out there, and I did not put it here. I don't think it could even meet it, but Just a Small Town Girl came up over and over and over, and I just could not add it because it's just not a great opening line.
It's not. There aren't really any. It's an iconic song, but are there really that great lines in it? There are not.
No. Just a Small Town Girl?
Living in a Lonely World, a smell of wine and cheap perfume. That whole wine and cheap perfume thing. I mean, it's not a stellar lyric, but it's delivered in such a way it's indispensable. It's like that. Now you understand why my really cheesy stuff is important to me, because it's like that. I mean, bad lyrics, but it still kind of rocks, and I love that tune. It's an iconic.
I mean, it's a great tune, but to put that as like one of the best opening lines,
no,
I just thought, ooh, I can't.
There are a lot better. They've done a lot better. Everybody's done a lot better.
Absolutely.
Lyrically speaking only.
Agreed. Yeah. This one is a good one. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I saw a werewolf with the Chinese menu in his hand.
That is the loopiest song, and I just love it.
It's a Warren Zevon. Come on.
Warren Zevon. The whole Excitable Boy album, I played that to death.
So good.
Nighttime in the Switching Yard.
Every song.
Johnny Strikes Up the Band. I mean, it's a killer album.
He's brilliant.
And
he was brilliant.
He's fantastic. And that one is so, I mean, the lyric is so bizarre and awesome. I mean, Brian De Palma's in there, and Lon Chaney and Lon Chaney Jr. Lon Chaney never played a werewolf, by the way. But it's just a knockout lyric because it's just like it's all of the stuff on that. He was one of a kind,
Absolutely. And it gives you the visual. Like I am seeing a werewolf sitting with a Chinese menu in his hand. Now, sometimes a werewolf is in a restaurant. Sometimes he's on on a park bench.
He's walking through the streets of Soho in the rain.
I mean, right. But at this moment, I don't know any of that. If you just hear this first line.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's true.
But it puts you in a weird place and you go, whoa, okay, I'm ready to go on this ride. So I do think that's iconic. I think it's definitely one for the ages. Now, this one is one you're going to like and one that sits with me. On a Dark Desert Highway.
Oh.
Come on.
Everything about that song is the pinnacle of perfection.
It's
the
amazing.
zenith of the achievement of mankind, almost.
Oh my God.
Okay.
Holy shit. It is some deep shit in here. Oh my God.
No.
I can
All
hardly
right,
breathe.
maybe that's it. You see, laughter is good, but lunkhead laughter is good. I wonder if Christina will be a sport and warn me when I'm ruining the show with lunkhead laughter by giving me the double L hand signals. That's a radio inside trade secret there, the double L hand signals. If she's on board with that.
I actually don't understand what that is. I appreciate every moment of laughter.
When you hear lunkhead laughter, you do the double L's.
Okay, well, I'll never hear it, so...
See, the problem is I intercept all the emails from the audience that says, that Dr. Spook guy and his damn lunkhead laughter, I can't take it anymore.
You actually don't. I don't even think you know how to get in anymore. So that's such bullshit.
I catch them all, man. I'm like Ash Ketchum. I catch them all.
There's no way. You would not even take the time.
Shit, I've never seen
I'm the one that checks the fucking emails. Not a one has come through saying that.
They all know this.
But even though the Eagles song is great, I don't know if it's the zenith of perfection. I'm not willing to go there.
Zenith of man's achievement.
I cannot.
No, but I mean, it's absolutely one of the all-time masterpieces
of
rock.
It's a great song. And that opening line, on a dark desert highway, like, I'm there. I don't know if I think I'm driving. That's what I'm doing. I'm driving.
Mean, you can see the the night man. You can see everything in the Hotel California. I saw a really funny meme about that. I'll tell you about it later on.
But if you think about it, again, we don't know anything other than this first line. So if we just stopped it after on a dark desert highway, just where does that take you? Like, to me, it takes me so many different places, and that's what makes it a great opening line. And it's creepy as fuck, which I think is also super powerful.
It's extreme. Yeah, I think it would be missing a little bit of something without the creep factor. It needs to be to make that the song that it is. I mean, it can't just be another Eagles song. It has to be like, holy shit,
Yeah, and we gotta go easy, which we did on this song, on the country, because I gotta go easy on the country. Yeah. The Eagles gotta lay off on the countryside for me.
They did a lot on that album, man. Yeah. Life in the Fast Lane.
That's a good one.
I mean, they were rocking Victim of Love,
which I'm pretty happy about. Yeah. I just want to get away from the Timothy B. Schmidt era.
And maybe you're not drooling over the new kid in town. Who knows?
No, I'm not. So I think that's a great one. Another one that's great. Now, again, we don't know anything after it. We're just looking at that one line. Welcome to the jungle. That's pretty powerful.
It really is. Yes.
Welcome to the jungle. Holy shit.
Another one of those songs that no bullshit is one of the best.
Yeah. I mean, you're got to buckle up. Get ready because welcome, And I think that's a powerful opening line. And then where that song goes after there is incredible, but just that opening line, holy shit.
It's unbelievable as astonishing as that song is. The band themselves outdid that with Paradise City.
Oh, that's a great song too.
They'll never beat that. Nobody ever will, practically. I mean, a few, but that's one of the all-time best.
It's a great song.
But Welcome to the Jungle is a great one. Great opening line. It's the same way. It's like it draws you in, just like the Crazy Train one, all aboard,
Yeah.
It takes you. You're coming with me. And that's what makes it so iconic. Yeah.
This one did not have as many votes, but it resonated with me because it is so iconic. And you may not think about it if you're not a big Beasties fan. I listened to License to Ill over and over and over. I mean, so many times. When I got my first leased car, I put that in there in the CD player, and it was just over and over again. I loved that album. And the very beginning, if you've got to fight for your right to party, is kick it really loud. And I thought that is one of the coolest opening lines. Just kick it. He screams it.
It's a hell of an opening line used that way. Yeah. Yep.
And you just go, holy shit. And you want to hear what comes next. And then it kicks in, obviously. But there's just something about that. And I thought that was a really smart thing to put in there. And one that I think might have missed me if somebody hadn't mentioned it. Now, this one might bring around some groans because, but I want you to think about... One of those 90s things, yeah. No, actually. But I want you to hear it and think about it when I say it just for this line. I see trees of green, red roses too.
And I say to myself, what a wonderful world this is, huh?
I think that line is really beautiful because if you are, just think about if you're in a different state of mind or maybe in a bad place, that's a moment of levity. That is a lovely moment. You know what I mean? So I see trees of green, red roses too. Okay. So,
it is because that's what the song. It's taking you someplace where the song lives is right there. Trees of green and all that, and they want you to feel that from the beginning. I love that song.
I do too. It's a great song, and whether you hear the Louis Armstrong version or you hear somebody else's version, it's a beautiful song. But that first line kind of again sets the tone for the song, and it puts you in kind of a good place. You're gonna like this one. And actually, this band makes 2 entries on this list because this is how many people brought it up. So I Was Born in a Crossfire Hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
That's a badass.
That band has probably the longest list of amazing, brilliant, jaw-dropping opening lines than any other group. Seriously, everyone that comes to mind is from them, and that's a killer right there. I was born in a crossfire hurricane.
I mean,
that's the most no bullshit opening line I've ever heard.
Just so y'all know, I was born in a crossfire hurricane. Well, shit. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, holy crap. And then just buckle yourself in. It's a fucking amazing song, but that line, and that came up so many times. And again, it was 5,000 people that answered this.
Right. I mean, it schools you with a strap right across your back, that song.
Exactly. So they make another appearance in just a few.
I'm sure they do.
But what about this one? Listen to the wind blow, watch the sunrise.
Yes.
You can hear it.
Yes, of course you can. You can hear those jinga-jinga guitars. Oh, it takes you right there. I mean, to grow up in the 70s and hear that for the first time and listen to it on a really good stereo and just get immersed in it. Absolutely amazing track. The Chain from Fleetwood Mac. Brilliant all-around performance by everybody on that one. And one hell of a killer opening line.
Absolutely. I was thinking about that. And again, just thinking about that moment, listen to the wind blow, watch the sunrise. That is like the ultimate meditation moment.
Yes.
All of a sudden I'm in a very zen place and I'm feeling very centered and ready for whatever life brings me. So just an amazing opening line that so many people mentioned. And this one, every time I read it, it gets me. And I'm going to ask you to pick your favorite out of all of these. Okay, I'm going to ask you, David, to pick your favorite, and I'll tell you my favorite. Hello, Darkness, My Old Friend. I mean...
The greatest opening. I'm glad the instrumentation comes later on with the drums and everything, which Simon apparently didn't like, or so I heard he didn't like it. But the way it starts is the way he conceived it with just that guitar and those harmonies, these transportational harmonies of theirs, and that's one of them right there that has to be there.
Those words, they're just beautiful and just heartbreaking all at once, and I just think, wow, it's very, very powerful. I mean, again, just the line by itself without thinking of anything else, and then you think about everything else, and you go, my God. So, yeah, that's definitely one of them. Okay, here's the Stones again. Please allow me to introduce myself.
Oh, of course. First one that comes to mind. I knew that would have to be there. That's why I said nothing.
So I would say the Please Allow Me to Introduce Myself it's super sexy. There's something about just please allow me to introduce myself. Oh, yes. And then, I'm a man of, oh, my. I think it's kind of a hot line. I think it's an interesting line. I definitely think it's unlike another line I've heard. I mean, I really like that.
We don't get it exactly. It's the perfect representation of the character of the devil that is the narrator of the song, and you don't get a lot of the devil as narrator of a song. It's not a very common thing.
Right.
And nobody did it like this. Please allow me to... He spends the entire lyric being so deferential, talking about these incredible horrors of history, but being so deferential and gentlemanly, and then at the end he zaps you with a big threat, you know?
Yes.
It's brilliant. It's the whole thing from front to back, and it opens with the line of all lines. Please allow me to introduce, pleased to meet you, hope you guess my name. I mean, that whole attitude is just
again,
incomparable.
Sexy and dark and all that stuff.
You can never just, if their music is not your bag, you can never really dismiss the songs because of the brilliance of the lyrics that they come up with, even if you don't dig their music that much.
There's some weird lyrics, let's be honest. There's some weird-ass lyrics, too. This one is the one that came up the most. And I probably looked at, I'd say, like 700 of them. I couldn't look at all 65.
Is this one that you can't play in a music store?
No, you can. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
Oh.
That was the one that was mentioned the most. I mean, dozens of times.
Oh. And it didn't come to my mind, but now that I think of it, yes, it belongs there.
It's brilliant.
It's one of the best opening lines of all. And where that song goes after that, it's just it is a breathtaking ride, that song, and it starts exactly like it should, with that fantastic delivery and line and the organ and the whole church attitude. Brilliant song.
And who isn't just trying to get through this thing called life? So it's so relatable, and I just love that about it. And again, this one is the one that came up the most into the 700 posts that I looked at.
Yeah.
And I wasn't surprised. The next one is this the real life?
Oh, that's a good one. I wish I'd thought of that.
Is this the real life? And I like that. Like, is this really happening? Yeah. So it puts you in that place where you're like, maybe it isn't. Is this happening? So pretty amazing line. And there were tons and tons. I didn't put them all here, but I have one more for you. Welcome, my friends, to the show that never ends.
Oh, welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends, you mean?
They did not say that.
Oh, it's incorrect, though. It's welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. One of the best lines. It's actually not a song per se, but it is. It's Carnival 9, First Impression Part 2 by Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Well, I mean, it is. It's
a track in and of itself. Even though it's a part of a vastly longer work.
But
it is a track in itself. And of course, that's a killer concert opener, which they used to great effect many times to begin with a line like that. And brilliant song. And again, it sets the stage, not only the carnival organ, the whole Keith Emerson thing he's doing, but that lyric sets the stage of, you're going to see an exhibition here. Here we've got this, we've got that, and they start talking all kinds of crazy stuff that they're going to show you, including a rock and roll show, and then the song proceeds to give you one of the best performances you've ever heard. So fantastic line with the way to kick it off.
Absolutely. Another honorable mention was Little Ditty about Jack and Diane, and I thought, is that a great opening line?
I'm so glad you're with me on this one.
I mean, it's fine, I guess, but it's not a great line. But
no.
I think people were maybe more responding to how they responded to an opening line, though not the best opening lines ever. I mean, I think a good opening line to me is, provocative, evocative, interesting, takes you to that place, is maybe creates some imagery for you, sucks you in.
Yeah.
That's what I think a good first opening line is.
I think if you gave me enough time, I'd be able to think of a lot of examples, but it would take way too much time, of great songs that didn't have opening lines. So the not particularly stellar opening line like Little Ditty about Jack and Diane, if you love that song, even if you acknowledge some of the lyrics are hokey, the first line will still give you the same reaction, even though it doesn't deserve it on its own.
Right.
I'm sure a lot of songs the ones we have mentioned, have fantastic opening lines, and yes, they happen to be great songs too. But
some people may not like you. Fight for Your Right to Party. Is that really a great song? It's a great track. I don't know if people would say it was a great song. It depends. But, I mean, I love the Beasties, but some people may not.
For me.
So, those are some of them. But there was also a whole bunch that were still good or maybe weren't good. What about Two Trailer Park Girls Go Round the Outside, Round the Outside, Round the Outside?
Let me see. Guess who's back? Back again. It's been years since I had that record, but I remember it. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's one of the greatest opening lines, but it's interesting. The Should Have Been Gone. Should have been gone.
Oh, they're back.
Now, I love that song by Steve Perry. Oh, Sherry's one of my favorites, but I don't know if that's one of the greatest lines ever. Opening lines.
In its own right, by its own merits, no, it isn't. If you love the song, again, then sure, it'll have that feeling for you, but it's not a great line, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing Grace, How Sweet the Sound. That came up a lot, too.
Really? Okay, yeah,
lot.
Deservedly so.
Beautiful.
That's a fantastic opener. Yeah.
Absolutely. People Are Strange When You're a Stranger.
That is a good line.
Well, a good one.
Doors lyrics, even the ones that don't make sense, are still great.
I don't know this one. On the Turning Away from the Pale and Downtrodden.
That's Pink Floyd.
It is. Yeah, that's a pretty good one, to be honest. That's a pretty good one.
It's kind of typical Pink Floyd, though. I mean, they've had better.
Which is amazing.
Yeah.
Pink Floyd is amazing. I know you have issues because they're not all happy bubblegum and rainbows, but that's okay.
I'm going to totally ignore that.
We need not all bubblegums and rainbows. We need, we need some hardcore shit. Let's see. What else we got here? See, some of these I don't know.
Are they Dino songs?
Back in Black, AC/DC. I don't know what the first. I guess it's.
Oh, it's Back in Black. Yeah.
So, yeah. This one, it's Britney, bitch.
And what, pray tell, is the opening line of that?
That's it.
It's Britney, bitch.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so profound.
That's so Britney.
That's so Britney.
Yeah. It's not. Oh, this was a good one. I read the news today. Oh boy.
You know what? That is...
that's pretty amazing.
That is an all-time classic opening line from Mr. Lennon and the Beatles, and even borrowed by his good pal David Bowie for his song Young Americans. Fantastic opening line, and he starts with a bang and ends with that everlasting piano chord. Total masterpiece. Great opening line, too.
Yeah, great opening line, definitely. And it's pretty painful. That's like, oh, yeah, that's pretty brutal. God Save the Queen, the fascist regime.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, really?
That's one that came. I'm just reading here. Just reading. I don't think that's one of the greatest opening lines.
No, it isn't. And I love the Sex Pistols too. And no, definitely not one of them.
We also have Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. I'm not sure that's one of the greatest opening lines either.
Was a good friend of mine.
That makes sure it about that.
Written by Mr. Hoyt Axton, the actor, the guy from Gremlins. Hoyt Axton wrote that song for Three Dog Night. Joy to the World.
Yeah, not a great opening line.
Nope.
At all.
I pass. However, it takes you right in with the song, though. If you love the song, it's going to get you excited.
Yeah, no.
You don't notice if it's a bad line. Then.
I did. I noticed. Yeah, I don't like it. But I get it. You Are the Sunshine of My Life.
Oh, Stevie.
That's a sweet song. I don't know if it's the best ever, but it's very sweet.
You know what? He's pretty good at writing them sweet songs. He really is.
Sweetest. I Believe the Children Are Our Future. I mean, it's profound, but I don't know that it's one of the most amazing or anything.
I think it's a tiny bit heavy-handed, and I know heavy-handed.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh. Some of these I'm like, I'm not really sure. Oh, I can't remember anything.
Wait, I can't remember anything. What song is that?
Can't tell if it's true. This is true or a dream.
Can't tell if this is true or a dream. Oh, what is this song? It's driving me crazy. What is it?
I can't remember anything.
Metallica 1. True or dream. Yeah, inside I feel this great.
Now, if it started, can't tell if this is true or a dream, that would have been a good. But I can't remember anything. It's okay.
A lot, yeah. That's pretty pedestrian. The second line is pretty strong, though. Definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't always the best lyricists. Honestly, sometimes they weren't that great, but they always had something. They got a lot better, though. But that song, I know it's Sunshine and Rainbows, is it? You're always telling me?
Yeah, Sunshine and Rainbows.
That song definitely doesn't have enough rainbows for me. So, and it's just, it's my least favorite Metallica song probably, but good line.
Oh my God, it's probably my favorite song.
Good second line anyway.
Yeah, so no, it is one of my favorite songs, and it's very sad that he has said that it's one of his least favorite. I want you all to just wipe that from your memory, because that's painful. I know it's hard.
I love Metallica, don't get me wrong. Yeah.
There must be some kind of way out of here.
Mr. Dylan. Everybody goes Hendrix. Yes. Dylan has written and everybody goes Hendrix. I know. Yes, Hendrix covered it, but it's a Bob Dylan song, and
that's because Hendrix did it better.
He has written so many.
U2 did it better too.
As far as I'm concerned, he's the greatest lyricist of all time. But so many great lines. I wouldn't put that one up there, but it's pretty damn good. Dylan's worst is better than most people's best.
I mean, I think it's okay. It doesn't. I mean, it's the way that it's written is stupid. I don't like it. There must be some kind of way out of here. It bothers me.
I like the way he can flow with it. It sounds right. Crazy shit comes out of his mouth, and it sounds great.
Not to me, but
so I gather.
Clearly, it does to you. That's good. Sunshine every single day helps to light my way, and darling. Nazareth, apparently. Sunshine every single day.
Vaguely familiar. Don't know that one.
I don't know about that. I don't think so. That's very strange. And then the last one that I have just sitting here. Some people tell me that I need help. From Cypress Hill. I don't know if that's a great first line, but I mean it's honest.
No, there are better crazy opening lines than that. But Cypress Hill, of course, they can get you with their lyrics, though. I mean,
absolutely. So now it's time from the ones that we mentioned, and I'm just gonna do a quick recap, just in case, so you can remember, because we went off there and just talked about some other entries. So all aboard. I've got Sunshine on a Cloudy Day. I saw a werewolf with a Chinese menu in his hand on a dark desert highway. Welcome to the jungle. Kick it. I had to do it that way because it doesn't make sense otherwise. I see trees of green, red roses too. I was born in a crossfire hurricane. Listen to the wind blow, watch the sunrise. Hello darkness, my old friend. Please allow me to introduce myself. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. Is this the real life? Welcome, my friends.
Welcome back, my friends.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. So which one is your favorite of those?
Well, it is so brilliant and so theatrical and so... I mean, it is what entertainment is meant to be. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, I got to give it to. Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends.
All right. My favorite is Hello Darkness, My Old Friend.
Yeah, that's way up there.
That to me is that's probably the best opening line ever. It's painful and beautiful and something we can all relate to.
And Paul Simon,
for some reason, I think that's the best opening line I've ever heard. So when I saw that in there so many times, it made me happy because I agree.
Yeah, that song and I Am a Rock. Oh, the guy's just incredible.
So ELP gets it for you, and S&G gets it for me.
S&G rules, dude, and they're on pot. Yeah,
very interesting. So hopefully you found this to be an interesting episode, and was maybe you have some of your own. You're thinking none of those are good at all, you guys. I've got to send in my own. Do so to bofonair@gmail.com. We'd love to hear it, or you could just leave a comment, something like that. That'd be fine with me.
And we promise Christina will read them.
Unless David intercepts them.
Yeah,
which we all know is complete bullshit.
Yes, they know. They know.
Well, that only leaves for you to say...
Let's fly this coop.
This has been Winging It, a presentation of Birds of a Feather, on What the Flock Radio.